180 Bravo Bravo, good afternoon to you. Report your altitude?
2,000 feet on 1014, Bravo Bravo.
Bravo Bravo.
Hello YouTube, Wycliffe Barrett here, Xplane Dedicated. Today we're going to have a look at the Magknight 787-9. This aircraft is very much a work in progress and as such can only be called a beta. You can purchase it from xplane.org, it's $44.95. and for that you'll get continuous updates. This is a very quick look at it. It's not a full review because in my view there is still quite a bit to go on this. It needs a lot of work, but you can be right in at the beginning and have this aircraft. Okay, here we are then in the Magknight 787-9 Aviators edition, available from xplane.org. As I said, it's $44.95. Now you may be wondering what the heck I'm doing here. Well, I'm trying to make sure that I've got the correct GNS 430 data folder. Now I can't be clear enough about this. You've got to make sure you have the right folder. Even though I downloaded GNS 430 from Navigraph, the one that I downloaded from them just would not work. And consequently, as a result of this, I spent a couple of weeks trying to get this aircraft working, thinking I had the right GNS 430 data. I didn't. I then had to go and see a friend of mine, or talk to a friend of mine, and I got his actual GNS 430 folder off him. Now looking in here, I've highlighted the things that you need to make sure are in it. You need to make sure that earthastro.dat is in there, earth.airway.dat, fixed.dat, hold.dat, and earthnav.dat. But the main one is the earth-astro.dat. That has to be in there, otherwise it just will not work. As I say, I spent a couple of weeks struggling with this aircraft, and then, I mean, I was even on the support forums and everything, trying to find out what was wrong. There are a lot of people having the same issue all over the internet. Whether they've actually found the solution, I don't know. Hopefully, coming here, they'll find that. I'll make sure that the links to this video are all over the place. So, it's the Magknight 787-9. It's supposed to have numerous features. I'm going to have to say that it is very much a work in progress. I did say this at the beginning in the intro. It is a work in progress. But if you buy it now, you're in at the beginning and you'll keep getting automatic updates. And the automatic updates are done through Java and something called SkunkCrafts.cfg, which is really, really clever because if there are updates for the aircraft, you start it up and you'll get this blue box, and you'll also hear a message that there are updates available for this aircraft, and it updates automatically. You don't even have to do anything, it just does it for you. So, having a look around the cockpit, looks rather nice actually, although some people have said it's a little bit flat. Now, I'm not quite sure whether they mean it's flat in colour, or the 3D doesn't come through, the true 3D effects of the cockpit doesn't come through. It does if you look at different angles. When you're just looking at it, you could almost think it's a 2D cockpit. But when you take an angle shot of the cockpit, you can see the 3D element. Externally, visually, I think it looks really good. You know, I've got a model of a 787 Dreamliner on my windowsill here. I've flown on the 787 a couple of times. I went to Jamaica on it. I flew on a 787 to Vietnam. Beautiful aircraft, and the exterior modelling is not so bad. I'm not quite sure whether there's enough fan blades in there. I'd have to check against a real aircraft and a real engine, but even so, it's not something that's a deal breaker. You know, I fly from the cockpit, I don't fly from outside looking at the fan blades, but it's one of those things that you might want to check on. So, as far as I'm aware, Magknight, or Matthew, is a one-man show, so he's constructed this on his own, and what he's done, he's actually done a very, very good job when you consider he's one person on his own. There are a number of things that need sorting out and figuring out with this aircraft. It hasn't got a custom FMC. It's using the default Xplane FMC, which is okay in part, but for example, I found it very difficult exporting a plan from SimBrief to get speed restraints onto my legs. So I had all of the height restrictions, but there was no speed on them. Also, by the same token, it's very difficult to get your V-speeds, and so I think basically V-speeds are just done automatically for you. through some kind of internal magic. It's got a lot going for it, as I say, but you know, there are some things that just need sorting out, specifically the navigation display as well, as the navigation display is the default Xplane one, so you know, it doesn't, we're used to seeing things better, but as Matthew has told me, there is a custom FMC coming very, very soon, and also a custom navigation display as well. So when those things are implemented, it becomes a far better deal. Until such time, I would suggest that if you're going to buy this, be aware. You have to be aware that it's a work in progress, and I would almost say that it's a beta. A goodish beta at the moment, but it will get better as time goes on, and updates are very, very quick. They're coming out fast and furious. Well, let's see if we can get this aircraft started then. And it's rather curious in so much as that you've got to put power onto the aircraft, and then you go to the electronic flight bag to do your configuration of weights and balance. It's a rather unusual way of doing things. I'm not quite sure whether that's accurate for the real aircraft. I would have to check that out somewhere. I'm just once again making sure that I've got everything in the right place, that I've got a flight plan in there, which I have because I downloaded one from SimBrief, and making sure that, you know, I've got all the procedures there. As I say, I spent a few weeks trying to get this to work, and I was getting very, very frustrated. So you can't blame me for just checking things through again and making sure everything is where it's supposed to be with it. Whilst I'm checking through that then, so some of the features, it's got a brand new flight model built for Xplane 1130, and this will only work in 1130. There's no point trying it in 1125. It has to be in 1130. Improved wing flex, which is really nice. Custom IRS simulation, so you can have real-time alignment or quick alignment. There's an auto update for the lifetime of Xplane 11, which I've already spoken about. There's LED exterior lights, revised font for cockpit textures, new yoke model, and the yoke is very, very good, although I've got it turned off at the moment. There's a electronic flight bag which has a takeoff calculator. You can there's a pop-out chart loader. There's a PDF chart loader, fuel, cargo and passenger loading, which we'll see. It's got a custom electrical system designed from the ground up for the 787. Although some of the system, not all of the systems work on that page there. So the third page along on the glass, bounded light in a turquoise green. Not all the systems are working yet. They will come online one at a time, so to speak. And as you can see here, we've got the electronic flight bag open, and you can load up terminal charts, but that doesn't quite work just yet. But you can get terminal information. There's ground services as well, and I'm just checking that I have got that power on. So here we go. I'm going to put in a flight plan. This flight plan was created for me by SimBrief. I think it's just Cardiff to Glasgow, if I'm not mistaken. And so this is the SimBrief. There you go. You can see it's loaded in, and I just need to put in the departure, which is Brecon 1 Alpha departure, runway 30, and ILS 23 to Glasgow for our arrival, which is a Lanark 1 Bravo. So you do the star first, and then the runway. And that's all in. You can see that's been populated, but now you look at it and all you can see is my height restrictions. Let's get rid of that discontinuity there, and there's another one, and you see I've got all the height restrictions in, but I can't get the speeds in, or the speeds don't go in with the flight plan. Now does this mean that I have to write in the speeds for each waypoint? If so, it's very tedious, and there must be a way around that. I haven't found it in the manual. The manual is not that big for the aircraft. I think it runs to something like 37 pages. But it's not. It doesn't even feel as big as that. When you get up to 37 pages, it really just doesn't feel that big. So here we are now on the electronic flight bag, and I've got to put in the airport destination, departure airport on the left-hand side, and on the right-hand side arrival or destination airport. And you can see that those airports are named underneath there. Yeah, and when you go in to airport search, you've got to put it in again, EGFF, and it'll come up with the airport, but no charts as yet. For some reason the charts are not working. So you can see Cardiff, click on it, and nothing. So I'm not quite sure what's going on there yet, but you know, it's a work in progress, and I'm pretty sure that that will sort itself out. And it's at this point that when you've done that, you need to go to your weights and balance of performance page. I'm still just trying to find the airports, and you know, I'm clicking through, and you know, there's no charts coming up or any information regarding the airports, although it's supposed to. It's designed for online flying. The aircraft advises you if you forget something, which it does in actual fact, because I started the engines and it said, don't you think you should have the beacon lights on before you start the engines, which is a pretty good. There are 10 liveries included with the aircraft, and many more will be available. Right, so here we are, we're on the performance takeoff page. You have to fill this in according to certain data, and it, you know, it gets a little bit confusing. You think, am I in the right place, and what takeoffs do I use, takeoff 1 and D rates and all the rest of it, and the runway is dry, and then you've got to put in your flaps, so flap 5, and then find different things, and you're looking around and you get confused. I got confused a number of times, and I think as you use it, the more you use it, obviously the easier it becomes. So I can put the keyboard in there and type in some more data, and then what you need to do is you get to a point that when you hide the keyboard, the bottom half of the screen actually shows you your CG, and it took me a while to get to that point. Once again, it's a question of getting used to it, and not forgetting I've read the manual cover to cover on this about 3 or 4 times during the last couple of weeks. So once again, you know, you trying to find your way around something which is not exactly how you'd expect it to work. It does work, but not the way you want. So here now you see it should have underneath there a kind of graphic telling you what your CG is. I eventually found it. Don't ask me how. I didn't do anything differently. I checked through everything, and sure enough, it turned up. Anyway, as I say, it's a nice aircraft. It's got a lot of work. It's got a long way to go, I think. But Matthew, who is the brains behind this, as I say, he's done a really good job, and I think it will just improve with time. That's all I can say. I think it will improve with time. One thing I will say is that when I eventually got everything in and I was decided, right, I'm going to go and fly this thing, takeoff was lovely, beautiful takeoff, but the autopilot seemed to be a bit wonky, and even though I dialed in 6,000 feet for my first height restriction, it wasn't climbing to 6,000 feet. I couldn't get vertical speed to work. Every time I clicked on VS for vertical speed, it would immediately go down to 100 feet. If I clicked auto throttle, it would then start climbing. I don't know. There's a number of things that need sorting out. But when it's done, it'll be a very nice addition to the Xplane hangar, I'm pretty sure. So I think I've got to congratulate Matthew for the work that he's done, although it does need a bit more, in my view. Until such time, if you buy it, be aware that it is a work in progress, and it's beta. Once again, the price of this is $44.95, and it's available from xplane.org. Hope that you found this video. See, now it's just come up there at the bottom now, yeah? So you hide the keyboard. I've just put in some data in here. You hide the keyboard, and then you get your CG data in there. So you've got to put in all of your passengers' weights. You've got to put in the cargo weights. You've got to put in your fuel. And I don't know. I mean, it took a while to find this page, but once you get there, it suddenly seems, yeah. But if you get it wrong, or you go back, then everything's missing, and you have to do it all over again. I think it's really, really the implementation of this, when it's sorted out, will be great. You can see, as you put the fuel in, it changes colour. The wings and the central tank and everything. It's really good. You put your landing fuel in, which would be, I guess, reserve. I don't know, or what you're likely to go down to before you take off. But if you decide to do something else, you come out of this page. When you come back to this page, all of that is missing. It's all gone. And so I don't know. I think once you put all of that data in, it should stay there regardless until the flight is finished. See what I mean? It's all gone. So you got to put it all in again, or maybe not, because it certainly calculated everything based on what I did. It calculated everything, and I could find my CG, but it just seemed a little bit hit and miss for me. But there we go. As I say, $44.95. It's available from Xplane.org. You buy it now, you get updates for life, or for the life of Xplane 11, and let's just hope we don't get Xplane 12 anytime soon. Once again, congratulations to Matthew, and hopefully within a few more months it'll be a work of art. It'll be really good. Okay, hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget, hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to make sure that you are notified when videos go live. In the meantime, let's rush down to a taxi, and we'll see how it goes from there. Here we are then. We're just going to start this taxi, push back. You do need quite a bit of room because the wings on this are quite large, or should I say they're quite long. So we'll just turn here and taxi on down. You can see that I've got everything in now. The route is in there on that navigation display, which of course, as I did say, there will be a custom display, and there will be a custom FMC for this. And once we get those two things, I think it will improve greatly then. And there's a bit of work required around the autopilot, but once that's done, I think we'll have a nice aircraft. Anyway, my name is Wycliffe Barrett. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Once again, hit the like button, make sure you subscribe, and also touch the bell. Click on the bell. You'll be notified when videos go live. We'll see you soon. Take care. Cheerio.